With the new Chevy Silverado, you might be driving in this. But with the Silverado's redesigned interior and large infotainment screens, it'll feel more like this. Introducing the new 2022 Chevy Silverado. Find new upgrades. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Welcome to CoPlay Media, a look inside the world of video games, anime, and the Blerd community. And now, here are your hosts, Diers and Demo.
And welcome to CoPlay Media. Yeah. And with me, I got my boy Demo right here. Also with me, I got my special guest, Tim Craggett, right here. He's going to tell us about his show, man. He's going to tell us about Artway Alliance, how we're going to get on this nerd money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have the COVID update. We're going to talk about games that we're binging, anime that we're binge watching. Is going to be amazing.
Let's do it.
Thank you for having me here. I'm stoked because all of this craziness with coronavirus and like we're supposed to be in the studio, but the internet makes the studio, so we're going to make it work. Thank you for having me here, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. It's my pleasure. You know, thank you for just checking in on me, checking in on each other. You know, it's been crazy times for everybody and everything going on. You know, so tell me about you, Tim. Like, tell me where you're from. Tell me how this success story began, where we met up with you, and then 5 years from now we become millionaires.
Yes.
I can't make any promises. We got disclaimers on this, so I just got to make sure. But
tell me how to escape my 9 to 5, Tim.
I can do that, though. I can do that. That I could do.
That's worth millions.
Yes. All right. So my name is Timothy D. Craigett. I am the host of DC's #1 radio show for online small business, the Swick Show on WERA 96.7 FM Arlington. I'm a native to the city. I'm a native of DC. I mean, on whatever take would have been, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I was born at Columbia Hospital for Women, which doesn't even exist anymore.
We rare, dog.
We're like the last. I mean, it's either 1979 or 80 when it just went kablooey, and that was it.
Y'all like the last of the Mohicans.
The last of the Mohicans, man. All right, so the whole thing of being an entrepreneur, speaker, just the whole gambit of what I do, came from this place. It came from this place of when I got started in 2012, I was literally and figuratively dying from my job. Like my job was figuratively and literally killing me, and I needed a way out. I went and learned this thing called internet entrepreneurship, internet marketing. And I sold $40,000 worth of a digital product that I made in a weekend, like over 3 days, 40 grand in 3 days, which was $5,000 short of my yearly salary at the federal government.
That's
that
crazy.
And like, it was like, which one do I do? No, it wasn't like that. It was like, I'm out.
Yeah. Enough said. Enough said.
How'd you get to quit? Did you flip a table?
Nah, I was actually sick, so I couldn't do any of that stuff. I couldn't Dave Chappelle it. I couldn't just like, ha ha, guess what, y'all? I quit. No, I couldn't do that. No, but no, the all respect to the federal government, everyone that's working, like y'all have like difficult jobs, especially now. I put nothing on anyone as far as, you know, what you do. But for me, I needed to go solo for self. And I haven't looked back since. And I've just been helping other people do the same thing.
Living the dream.
Living a dream. Since then, I've been in some crazy rooms, met some amazing people, travel more than I can stand sometimes. I live life like I've always wanted to. Which surprisingly is very solitude. I mean, I mostly just stay home and play games. But
like I said, the dream.
That's what I want.
I want that, man. I want that. That's what I want.
I feel you. Well, yes, I would love to have more of my people living the dream.
Yeah, I want to just worry about when my tennis lesson is, man. Like that's what I want my biggest worry to be about for that day. It's like, oh, am I going to be able to make it
today? Let me call up my assistant and find out if I ate today. Did I eat today?
Nope.
Did you schedule me a lunch? Like, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of CEOs that are actually like that. Like, I had a CEO once when I was first starting out. He was like, "Man, I know I got a lot of meetings, but you gotta schedule time for me to eat." I was like, "Okay."
That's
Didn't
real.
know I had to run your life for you, but
That's real.
That's what it is, man.
You get so into what you're doing that you don't have time to pay attention to the little things like food and
the little life is essential to life.
corporate America is funny like that.
It is.
One thing that I saw that I noticed that was interesting is you're also affiliated with the Artway Alliance, which is awesome because I know Eric Suggs.
Yes, Eric is good people. Anyone that doesn't know who and what Artway Alliance is, please make sure you look them up. They're about to blow up because they're on the cusp of something special. Artway Alliance, for those that don't know, is a nonprofit that helps artists connect to STEM opportunities, STEAM opportunities. But it also is a way for kids to get introduced into science, technology, engineering, arts, and math through comics. Well, now actually kind of pop culture, but same difference. They just do amazing work. And it's one of the things when we first met, Eric and I, at a mutual friend's birthday party, it was just something that he just talked about. And then you come to see years later, it's like one of the staples of most of the big events in DC. Yeah. He's done an amazing job of giving people opportunities, and I really hope to see 2020, 2021 produce what they were born to do at a much higher level. I mean, we connected at Baltimore Book Festival, Baltimore Brilliance.
Oh yeah. The light show.
And that was crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. Doing it with David and Eric and the guys from MTR and AJ. That it was and Bree, and it was just a great experience.
Yeah, as cold as it was, that was like an amazing. That was an amazing experience. Like, I would love to do that again. I can't wait.
Let me just share this real quick. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be there. Like, it was my birthday weekend, and I was just like, I do not want to be home.
Oh,
so I just like, you know what? I'm driving to Baltimore. I'm going to hang out with Bree. And then it's like, forget it. I'll go a day extra. And then I was supposed to be on travel. So then I had to go travel early in the week to get on a train to get back to DC area, to get into my car, to drive to Baltimore, to stay there. Cause I just didn't want to be at home. And then I met all you cool cats. So it's like, all right, this worked out.
Serendipitous, man. Look how things work out,
Yeah. Levels, man. Levels.
To the thing that I am super interested in is while researching and going over your stuff, I saw the book about the six-figure nerd, and all jokes aside, I am interested in leveraging my interests outside of what I do for work in a way that can be beneficial. And, I want to learn how to make more money off of it and find more opportunities and, network better. And, I just wanted to ask, like, how is your book? First of all, can I get a copy? But secondly, how is your book?
Yeah, we need a copy for that.
We need a copy. And copies to give out too, because we got homies that we need to put on.
So I'll jump right to the chase on that, because I appreciate you jumping in on it. So the Six-Figure Nerd upcoming book, we had a little bit of a snare this crazy thing happened where someone got sick and then they gave it to somebody else, and you know, just the common cold, just the flu, you know, just the flu.
Didn't see it coming. Hey, no one saw it coming.
and it kind of pushed back our launch date. We were planning to launch the book at AwesomeCon.
Yeah.
And AwesomeCon got pushed back, and then we decided we were going to push the book to HBCU Con, and then that con got canceled.
Wow.
So now we're hoping for Blerd Con 2020. So that's the goal. If we can't get this thing out, Blerd Con 2020, we're just going to put it out to the public because the book is done. It's just
the book is done.
Yeah, we just needed to do a launch, and we just haven't had that opportunity yet. So the book is in the can, edited, ready to go. It's just everything that we had planned in order to get a lot of people around it. We've lost that opportunity.
That's all right, baby. That's why we got community. That's why we got community.
Absolutely.
We gonna push it out there.
This is the beautiful thing about this is, like, there's going to be something for everyone in it, because, you know, as being creatives, we're all creatives.
Yes.
The one thing that holds us back the most is not knowing how to take our creativity into business.
Yes.
Yeah. And the big focus. Right. Thank you. And the big focus of the book is not just to put on our creative people and have them have an opportunity to shine, but to kind of leverage my years of doing this and say, this is where I see the opportunities. So it gives all these multiple facets of how the system is applied. And it hopefully will give people the ideas that, okay, this particular thing, like if it's illustration or if it's voice acting or whatever we have in this volume of the book, because we're going to do multiple volumes.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a way to see where it might work for me. So our goal is BlerdCon 2020. If we miss on that, which is perfectly fine, it will be available on Amazon, probably Kindle first, and then to print. That way we can get all of you great people, all you great listeners and stuff, to buy it and make it a #1 bestseller so we can release it as a best-selling book. But that's the goal. And as far as you guys getting a copy, it was already in the plan. So you guys are good to go.
So me being a creative, like my thing is, I feel like I have all these ideas here, right?
Multifaceted.
But I have no idea how to bring this stuff out or what way to go about getting it to a point where I can monetize these ideas. Will that book be able to help those like me?
That's the goal.
Okay. That's what I need, Tim.
Then I'm here to serve.
I got you. Look, I love For Dummies books, man. Like, I'm a big fan of For Dummies books. Like,
I like what For Dummies books used to be.
Okay.
Like right now, it's just a brand. Like back in the day, they were way more helpful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If we could go back to that, you know, that's where more people can have more opportunities.
Yeah.
And to kind of answer the question of if it's one of those things where if you have a lot of things in your head, the system is the system. It's just a matter of having creativity beyond your creative ability. Like you gotta see a bigger picture.
Okay.
In order to see what the small steps are in the bigger picture. And that's the goal of the book is to have all of these great people contributing, showing their genius, and then showing someone with a mind that's kind of fine tuned to, okay, well, where's the money? And saying, this is where I see the money. And so hopefully after seeing the ways it's applied, you get some ideas of saying, I see the pattern. Now I know what to do.
The Matrix.
Yes. I am definitely Morpheus in the situation. I present you the red and the blue pill, but I don't tell you which one to take.
I'm trying to free your mind.
But just like freeing someone's mind, you got to give them the option. They got to be willing to take that step.
They got to be willing to step out there. They got to be willing to jump across the gap, man.
Yeah, you got to be able to jump across the buildings, yo.
Even if you don't know what's on the other side, you got to be able to know kung fu. You got to be able to know kung fu.
Yeah, got to be able to pivot. As an entrepreneur and as an engineer, could you just give me some information as your background of what you've done in the past? I know that you've definitely covered stuff along with your show, but just any kind of just a background on it, and I guess also how is it affecting your work as an entrepreneur with coronavirus and everything going on? Like, is this bad times, or is this like hot times to turn lemons into lemonade, or is it like,
So I'll throw this at it because I think this is like the quick answer. So I'm the architect behind some of the biggest launches on the internet that no one will ever know. And the whole thing of getting into that scene was kind of just happenstance. Like back in 2012, when I bought my first information product, it was $7. And after going through it, I'm like, this is cool. And then there was an upsell. The upsell was $500. It hurt me all to my heart to pay that money. But I was like, I needed to do it. So I spent the $500. And then I got my first mentor. And my mentor pretty much saw the work that I was doing because I was an IT trainer. And
really?
My background is IT.
Really? You too? Oh, man. Okay. That's tight.
We could have IT conversations so much. That's beyond this. But yeah.
We'll talk about that.
But he saw what I was doing because the whole thing of information marketing is you take complex information and make it simple for everyone else to understand. And I just did exactly what I used to do for the government. And he was like, why are you not an internet marketer? And my answer was, I didn't know that this existed. Fast forward a few years later, I'm doing videos for companies that's doing municipality pitches of over 9 figures. And it's just like, how did I get here? So it's always been hard for me to answer that question because that's not it's not like it's a career path where like you went to somewhere for this particular thing and you're going to land here guaranteed or very damn close to it. It was just more so like once you dip your toe in, you put every part of you in and just wade the water.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my education into this whole thing of entrepreneurship online. To answer your question about how the coronavirus has affected me, I'm going to be super honest. The most that coronavirus has affected me outside of a few of my friends getting COVID-19 and thankfully making it through, I must make sure I say that, is I can't people watch. That's it.
Which is the most fun thing to do.
Like, have you ever just sat on a bench?
I just can't go outside and people watch. Like nothing for me has changed. I'm still in my home studio. I'm still producing. I'm still writing. I'm still making videos. I'm still making shows. I'm doing everything that I've ever done. It's just I can't go outside to the places where I used to go and just watch people for a few minutes to like clear my mind and then go back into the studio. That's basically it. Oh, and I had to put on a mask now.
Man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, everybody rocking the mask, yeah.
Yeah. So no. For me, thankfully, I'm not as hindered as most. But I have seen a lot of my friends who have had a total life change because of it.
Yeah.
So I understand the impact beyond my small worldview. But the funny thing is, like, being online, I'm seeing all of my friends and associates and stuff that this is like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, because we're normally in front of our computers for hours on end. So
I can very much relate to you on that one.
Yeah. So no, I'm as, I don't know, I'm as normal as I'll ever be outside of people watching.
Well, you brought up a very interesting thing that I didn't know about, and I wanted to ask, how much did your mentorship influence your progression in entrepreneurship?
It was vital. The whole thing of my background with my family and all, entrepreneurship isn't a big thing. It never was, and it's not because it's not something anyone didn't aspire to. It's just that, you know, Caribbean people are hard workers.
Yeah, they're hard workers.
They're worker bees. Yeah, they're worker bees. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I learned from my grandmother and my mom. I learned to study my books and you know, don't mess around with them girls and get your education and get a good job at the bank and you know, all the Caribbean things that Caribbean parents teach you, you know. But you know, kind of with my dad, he would run a fireworks stand in DC over in Southeast.
Which one?
Off Benning Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to watch the fireworks from over there, man. Perfect.
Yeah. So sometimes during the summers he would have me come to the stand and I'd get my nickels and
that's crazy.
And I sell, you know, fireworks to people and stuff. And I kind of got the idea of what entrepreneurship was. I think where I got the bug though was back in the early 80s when I lived, the late 80s, early 90s when I lived in Florida with my grandmother. I used to take my Nintendo cartridges to the flea market and I would trade with the vendor there.
Right.
And so I kind of learned the value of things and I learned what trade was and I learned bartering and I learned all these principles. And it wasn't until I started working in the real world later in life that I was like, I make more doing less. And I was like, why am I doing this? So it just logically didn't make sense. And once I got my mentor and he showed me the exponential side of things and showed me, you know, where the world was going. Yeah, that put me on a totally different lane. And I was able to move past my limitations. So that's one of the things that I'm really a big fan of is, you know, each one teach one, but, you know, just like the Joker says, if you're good at anything, you don't do it for free. So I had to pay the price and I got the education. So it definitely was the trigger that put me in a different lane.
And I think it's important for people to actually see what's possible because like you growing up in DC, you don't have a lot of people that run businesses. Most people just go to work for the government and they do it for years and years and years. And it's like, that's all you know. Like, it's like, get a government job. Nobody's saying, hey, you can go out here and sell this and flip this into this. But that's why a couple years ago, I got the bug that you got with your Nintendo cartridges. Cause I was buying a lot of old games and I was like, yo, I can actually sell this for more than what I actually bought it for on this Let Go app. Like Let Go was my eye to like open my eyes to selling and bartering crap. Like I traded
is crazy.
Yeah. Like I traded a guy one time. I traded a guy a watch that I didn't want anymore for an iPad, and I was like, I'm way happier with this iPad than I was with that watch. Like this iPad is way more valuable to me than that watch. Yeah. But the guy really wanted the watch for some reason. I'm like, well, here, take it. I'll take your iPad off your hands.
Yeah, and that's pretty much business, man. That's value. It's what someone's willing to pay for, whatever they want. And it's funny you mentioned that, because this is kind of one of the things that the book kind of helps to overcome. Because when you think about the convention scene, you think about there's like over 100 other people just like you sitting in the same seats you're sitting in, and everyone's selling the same thing as a commodity.
Right.
It's all like, the values, because if you go up one table, they're selling whatever their prints are or their commissions are or whatever for whatever price. So it's like you have to justify why you charge more, or you have to undercut them and charge less.
Right.
And the thing about the internet, which is what I tell every single artist, there's tons of people that value tons of things at tons of prices. Whatever you're used to, just scrap it. It's about value. It's always about value. It's about the value that is true value or the value that's perceived value. Once you understand that, there's no such thing as like a ceiling of what you could charge.
And here's the crazy part about artwork. Like I tell D all the time, it's like, I won't watch an anime if the art doesn't look good to me. So there's artists on IG, like comic book artists, they do commission work. It's certain people that I know have been doing this longer than others, but it's like the people that have been doing it longer, I might actually hate the way that their art looks compared to somebody that I know is charging way less, but to me, their art just looks like something I would want to hang on the wall. Just because of how they drew it.
And that's value to you. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And as someone who is in the media and covering events, how do you see the progression or the societal changes that are coming, like ESPN, for instance?
Good point.
ESPN is completely being revamped as people can't play sports with each other. The main thing that the station shows, you know what I'm saying? Like, what changes do you see coming down the pipeline that could be that we should know about, that we should research about? Should we look into it? Should I start playing 2K right now? Do I need to get good at 2K? Like, how good do I need to get? You know what I'm saying? Do I have a chance?
All right, so I'm gonna answer the 2K question, because I could really answer the 2K question.
Oh man!
So, for those that don't know, I'm a Full Sail graduate, and I'm about to graduate again from Full Sail. So I have a ton of connections that are connected to esports. Congrats. Thank you so much. One of the things that I wasn't able to do when I was younger, and I was like, before I die, I wanted to get that done. Yeah. So I talk all the time about esports, just kind of seeing what's happening. And we covered at the school some of the champions from 2K. And it was a reality shock for me, because I thought it was as easy as, I'll pop in 2K and all of a sudden I'm ready to play competitively. I'm good. I'm nice.
Nah,
but
man.
The reality is you're playing basketball. So, no, there's coaches. There are assistant coaches. There are managers.
Wow.
There are nutritionists. There are psychologists. There are
therapists. Yep.
Man, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, man.
The crazy part about it is there are levels to being a professional. And in the 2K League, they have a really nice system of finding their pros. And yes, they do go through the whole gambit. You play I think like 50 games, and depending on your win percentage, that is an invite into their like tryouts. And then from there's a developmental side. And then from there's the draft. Jeez. And then from the draft, you can be traded in the draft and all types. It's real. So
actually
it's amazing. And the funny thing about it is, on the surface, we see the end of the line.
Yeah.
We see them on ESPN. Yeah. We see them on ESPN, and we see them playing and see them high-fiving and all this other type of stuff. but everything that went into them being a pro, it's organized sports. It's like real legit. Like you went into the D League and you came out into a pro because you played at a level acceptable for a competition play. It's not Madden challenge. It's not we just go with the homies and like this is the day we're gonna
you gotta prove it. You gotta prove your worth.
It is work. But no, to answer your question, because I don't know your skill level for 2K, I just have to say you gotta at least win 50 games.
Yeah, you ain't there yet, D.
Oh,
we ain't there yet, man.
I say let's get into the 50 and over league and maybe we could beat up those guys and we could.
Yep. I wouldn't be able to make it in there either. I wouldn't be able to make it.
No, but ESPN, yeah, it's a very telling situation.
Yeah,
because like when you look at it, yeah. Oh well, no, they saw the light years ago, and now the light is blinding them in their face.
Yeah,
because it's weird when you have. Well, first, it's weird when you completely reorganize all of your programming and you get rid of your 24/7 stuff. You start having blocks.
Yeah.
And then you can't have blocks because you can't have people show up. And then you can't have people show up.
You won't get
it's not just the on-air talent. It's players.
Right.
It's just this domino effect.
Right.
And the substitution has become esports. I mean, we're seeing F1 on ESPN, the games, video games. I'm not even talking about FIFA. I'm not even talking about 2K. I'm talking about F1.
F1, yeah, having serious races.
Yes, NASCAR. So I'm waiting for the day when we see UFC.
Yeah,
I want to see UFC 3 being played on ESPN. After I see that, I know for certain
you know what else?
Sports is just going to get hurt.
What else needs to come back? And this is one of my favorite fighting games ever.
Oh, I hope you're going to say it, because if so, I agree.
Fight Night.
Yes.
I love Fight Night.
Fight Night
awesome. Is an amazing boxing game, and I feel like it needs to have a resurgence after this because
I was watching Grandma's Boys. You ever seen that movie, Grandma's Boys?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but I'll write it down.
So I was just watching that movie today, and they started it out, and the guys were playing. They were playing Fight Night. And I was just looking, I was like, man, this game look fun. I need to play that game again. Like, dang, that game look fun.
Fight Night is legit. Like,
yeah.
Like if I knew there was a professional league of that, I would work hard to get into it.
Yeah, if they could find a way to make boxing popular again, in order for them to bring back a Fight Night, I would support it 110%.
See, I think the thing with boxing is, you remember when boxing was big in its heyday, it was all about the heavyweights. But the caliber of heavyweights we have now is nowhere near what we had in the 90s. Like, you had Evander Holyfield just look like a Greek statue out there with the form and talent of like a Sugar Ray Leonard, but he's like over 170 pounds out there. And Mike Tyson, like prime Mike Tyson, is like the epitome of what a heavyweight should be. Like, you just watch the fight knowing I'm not going to get my money's worth. Because he's going to knock this guy out. He's going to knock this guy out in the first or second round.
Yeah.
Like, you tuned in knowing that.
They don't build fighters like that now.
Yeah, the fighters are just not the same caliber anymore. And
Oh, well, I mean, maybe not in boxing, but in UFC, I feel as if the fighting is getting better. And not the heavyweights, too. What's his name? Jeez.
Which one? McGregor?
He's African. He's skinny. I think he's like a welterweight.
Israel Adesanya.
That guy.
Yeah, Israel Adesanya. Yeah.
That guy is amazing.
I mean, he took down Silva, man. That's a big feat in itself.
That wasn't Silva in his prime, but it was. Yeah, it's like getting Sugar Ray like when he's like one day from retirement.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got to win silver was Roy Jones when he went heavyweight. All the way heavyweight. Yeah.
Yeah. But to their credit though, like for what UFC used to be to what it is today, they had insight. It's just like with esports.
Yeah.
They knew where the future was going and they brought the future to the people and made it accessible.
Right.
So yeah, like just kind of bringing it back full circle. That's where we're seeing like traditional sports are going to have a lot of trouble, like overhead. Like accessibility, like in covering Overwatch, which I never cared about Overwatch until I saw my first match.
Oh yeah, Overwatch is fun.
I was surprised because when I played Overwatch, it's chaotic to watch and it's so hectic. But it's like when I put it on and I tried it, I was like, this thing sucks. Why do people like it? And then I went to my first homestead and I felt it and I understood that. And that's when I was like, esports is the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because any arena, any warehouse, any person's house, all you need is one big screen and that's it.
You can have a match right there.
It's all about the execution.
NBA, NFL, tennis, none of them can compete with that. Where can you have it where the people don't get exhausted? They don't get tennis elbow. They don't like rip an Achilles.
To play for hours.
Many people will pay and they will stay for a long time.
Yep. Hours on end.
And just watch. It's mind blowing.
And be amazed. We still have heroes, and and at one day there's going to be a kid that looks up to the LeBron James of Overwatch.
Yep.
And is like, I want to be like you. And he's going to like throw him his headset or his mouse or something. And the
The craziness that I noticed too about these esport pros is they have the same shelf life as an actual athlete.
Like, you can't keep up. You can't keep up that stuff.
New superstars come in just as quick as a rookie in the NFL. Like,
this is what I learned, which was crazy, and this is why us old guys, as far as esports is concerned, will never have us. Yeah. The average age for starting as a professional is 17. The average age of being out of esports is 24.
24, dang.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why. Motor skills, twitch ability.
Yep, fast twitch motor.
Your dexterity when you're at 17, 18, and at the height of it is 20, is at its highest it'll ever be.
Yeah.
They get those kids young.
Dude.
Yeah.
Here's the craziness. I noticed as time went on, we all played shooting games and fighting games, but as far as the shooters go, my game as a shooter is nothing like it was when I was a kid playing, GoldenEye or something. Like, I'm literally playing from a mid to long range engagement standpoint at this point.
Yeah.
I can't, my motor skills aren't fast enough to run in and wipe a whole team by myself. It's not going to work.
I mean, but that's the trade-off, is that you use your experience.
I'm the wise guy.
Your wisdom.
Hanging back, calling the shots.
You get shot at from a distance.
Hey, that's what time taught him.
I'm the field general at this point in Modern Warfare. I'm playing fours, playing quads, and I'm the guy that's hanging back like, all right, guys, we got 3 teams moving in. I'm calling the airstrike.
Y'all got this. Y'all move forward. I'm gonna hang back.
Yeah.
Here.
All right, guys. I'm gonna cover you from back here.
I'm the dude that's the heavy.
Oh yeah.
That just knows that I'm going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna last, but I will give everyone else a fighting chance, and I will cheer everyone else on to the end. But I will be useless.
All right. So let me segue in here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit.
All right.
Since you cover Overwatch. And we talked about the age in which gamers are at their prime.
Yes.
In esports. How do you feel? What is your take on this whole doping thing with the Adderall and caffeine and hot chocolate? Apparently, hot chocolate can be considered doping before a match.
Hot chocolate is delicious.
It apparently has enough caffeine in it to be considered a drug before a match.
That's a great question. And it's one of those questions I actually was very intrigued by because in covering Overwatch and learning about all the many facets of a team, you do have a nutritionist. And the nutritionist is supposed to be there to make sure that you are mentally aware and you're mentally fit through what you eat and what you drink.
Okay.
But you also have to take into consideration that these are very young, very immature. Most of them are not even native to the States. Kids that are already put into a system. The whole thing of doping, that is like really real. I haven't seen it in Overwatch. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't know. But I do know that it does exist on the pro level. Because, you know, if you're trying to compete and you have a big cash prize, you give whatever edge you can give. Right. I should say.
Sticks, anything will go, man. Twizzlers, anything, man.
Hockey you can load up on.
Lay down a line of that pixie dust.
I feel like with any sport, there are going to be people who will try to blur the line.
Yeah.
And I can only hope that as these leagues get more official, they take a lesson from the WWF. Because there's going to come a point where something big will happen and it's going to force a change rather than being proactive and making sure they never had to get there. Like the whole thing about the esports leagues is they are their own governing body per se. They're like all of them are like the NBA. Like they own their own teams, they own their own venues, they own their own officials. Like all the stuff that makes the league is in house.
Right.
So they control the rules, and that opens up the whole thing of doping. Like, I can't imagine there being a situation where it wouldn't happen. But I can't imagine a situation where there are rules and regulations in place that can regulate, if not eliminate that from the sports. So it just remains to be seen.
Yeah. I mean, too, I know even staying on top of that doping stuff is pretty expensive, actually.
I don't know. I mean, I've never done it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think
we say doping, but you got to understand that this is children and candy. You know what I'm saying?
and some people have a legit prescription for Adderall. Like,
I definitely met that guy who was super smart. Come to find out, he was chugging Adderall.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the line between focus, and you being super smart? Like.
Right.
And I feel as if as they develop those rules, hopefully they'll fine tune that line of, equality.
Fairness and competition, probably.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Like it's going to be a trial and error thing. It's just like with the NFL. Like one day a prescription drug is legal, the next day the prescription drug is a banned substance.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes with just what happens over time.
It might have to come down to a point where they make a list of acceptable supplements. Like, hey, you can have a Monster or you can have a Red Bull. That's not illegal, or drink your hot chocolate like one young lady. I think before a match she chugged some hot chocolate and was like wiping everybody. And they were like, it's the hot chocolate because of the caffeine content. But
call it Chocolate Gate.
Yeah. But that was her thing. But it was like her thing, and it was known like, hey, she drinks hot chocolate before a match.
Right. Right.
But I don't think she should be penalized, or anybody should be penalized for like drinking a Red Bull, because we all do it, I guess. I don't do it, but it's legal. You can get it from a 7-Eleven, get a 5-hour energy, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
it's a weird line right there. Because we all knew that kid that was too good at video games. Nobody should be that good.
Well, I mean, it's also just with football. You know, at one point they were wearing leather helmets, and now not only have they changed up the helmets, but now they're telling you, don't put your head down. Now and then it turns into concussions are a real big deal, and then it turns into, hey, there's a study that's being shown that you get hit too much, you're gonna be goofy forever. The Pac-Man fever.
Yeah.
But which brings me to binge watch list. What are y'all binging right now? What are y'all binge watching right now? What's really, in your opinion, people should be, if you're locked in, you should be checking this out. Like, what is there a show that's touched y'all lately?
You know, what I'm noticing lately is I'm not watching nearly as much anime as I thought I would. What I am doing, though, is watching a lot of strange documentaries or docuseries. Like that Tiger King one.
Tiger King is maze balls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
for anyone who hasn't, and I mean, if you haven't, I'm amazed. If you haven't watched Tiger King,
you gotta watch it for the entertainment.
Is great. It's great television, but it's also great as far as person in the media.
Yeah.
And like I'm a big fan of docos as well, but it's very few docos that I can sit back in my chair and just be entertained. Like I'm not analyzing anything.
You don't want anything from it.
Story under the story. It's just like this is America.
Like this is, where was it? Was that in Florida?
No, the story starts in Florida, but I think they're in Oklahoma.
Weird middle of the country place.
They're in the Midwest. That I'm almost certain. Well, the protagonist is in the Midwest. The antagonist is in Florida.
Yeah, man. Oh my God.
Antagonist being Carol Baskins.
Yeah, it's so weird that it's like, even that's blurry, because it's like, is this guy just drunk and on meth and going crazy?
Well,
or
the boyfriend was on meth, the husband was on meth, but he's clean now, apparently. So it's all good.
It don't look like it, man. That dude is
if you saw the update, he got teeth. He got new teeth.
Oh, he did. He got a full grill
now. He be clean now.
He clean now.
He's clean now. I don't use the meth anymore.
No, he don't have the meth mouth no more. But yeah, Tiger King. Surprisingly, I'm in the middle of 2 documentaries myself. I just started The Last Dance on ESPN.
Oh, is that the Jordan
story of the Bulls? Okay. Yeah. I was a big Pippen fan back in the day, so this is really interesting to watch.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like I can't stand Jordan.
As a person?
As a person. Like I met Jordan and I'm not a fan of Jordan. Back in the day when I was in high school, me and my friends would skip school and go play basketball over at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. And one day we're playing at Georgetown and we see like this big news truck come, and then a second, and then a third, and then like a whole bunch of them. Oh. So we're like, what the hell's going on here? And then we end up finding out that the Bulls were using the Georgetown facilities for their practice. It's like, this is dope.
That's super dope.
So we leave the outside courts and we sneak inside the auditorium to go inside and watch them practice. Mm-hmm. So then we're sitting there and like we're the only kids in like sweats or basketball gear. And then like, what was it? I think it was Hodges who saw us. I think it was Hodges. Mm. He saw us and he was like, "Hey, y'all want to play?" And he was like, "What?
Word?
Yeah, come down." So it was Hodges, Tony Kukoc, and I can't remember who the third player was that we were playing pickup with them, and they're like trying to wave over Jordan. It's like, Jordan, come over here, man, come play. And then like he's sitting over there by his lonesome. He's like, nah.
Kids on
And
words.
they're like, come over, and he's like, no. And from that time on, man, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Double barrel on Jordan, man.
Yeah.
Forget Jordan. But nah, Pip is my man.
I was the weird guy that actually liked Steve Kerr. Like, for some reason, I had an infatuation with 3-point shooters back then. So Reggie Miller.
Me too.
Yeah.
Steve
Mark
Kerr.
Price was my dude.
Yeah.
Mark Price was my guy until Pippen kind of stepped into the scene. But yeah, I was big on 3-point shooters too. And it was like, I don't know. It was that time it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big man game, and all of a sudden people were shooting. Like the guy who looked like he had no skill was able to shoot. I could do that.
Got that set shot. Let me set my feet. I'm gonna put it up. It's 3 every time, baby.
Yeah. So that's my quick Jordan story, and that's why I'm not a fan. It's like I gave him all the props in the world, but he didn't play basketball with me that one day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've noticed that anyone who ever met Jordan, they stopped buying his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like they just stopped.
Yeah, like he's known to rub people the wrong way, man. It's like you got to be in Jordan's circle to see like a good side of Jordan.
From the documentary, the first 2 episodes, he went and took Danny Ainge for golf, and pretty much told him that day he was going to light them up. And that ended up being like the second game of game 2 in the finals, the first time the Bulls went into the Celtics. Just that story alone was like a perfect representation of who Jordan is. He's like, I'm going to take you where I'm going to take your money, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to you the following night. It was just murder. It was just murder.
He was very competitive, and maybe that's what it was, though. Maybe he's just a competitive guy. Like that dude.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. You know, you got to want it really bad, like really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there were some guys out there that was as capable of Jordan, but Jordan, one thing that I do respect about him is how fanatical he was about competition in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would race you. He's that dude that will race you to the car after the basketball game.
Yeah.
And put like $40 on the race too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. He was that dude. He was that dude that if there was a way to show I'm better than you,
he'll do it.
I'm gonna do it.
But
I can't take that away from him. No.
That's my freaking kids, man. I got 3 boys, and it's like everything is a race of some sort. They'll race to bed.
Or fight.
Like,
I bet you I can go to sleep before you. You're wrong. Like,
bet you I can fall asleep faster than you bet you can't.
$5.
Let's do it right now.
Hey, Daddy, give me $5.
Yeah, I heard about that Jordan documentary, though. I got to catch that, man. I didn't see any of it yet.
It's well done. They just started it. And the other doco is McMillions.
McMillions, yes.
That
you got to check that out.
Amazing.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, that was amazing. Like the whole thing of the McDonald's game. Like, I remember my dad doing security before he became a DC cop. And I would stay late nights, like literally go from school, get dropped off at the McDonald's where he's doing security, do my homework, and fall asleep inside of the restaurant during the time they were doing all that dirt with the McMillions game.
You gotta check it out. They were like, man, there was no legit winner that entire time. Nobody legitimately won. Yeah, man. It was like an inside Ponzi scheme thing, man.
It was amazing. It was so organized. And it's like the crazy thing that took them down is what makes the whole thing so good to watch.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, dude.
It is great television.
I think it's on like HBO or Showtime or something.
HBO. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, you gotta catch that, man. That was interesting.
Like, I've been watching anime this whole time. I feel stupid.
No, don't. No.
With the end of the show coming up, man, is there anything else any other projects you got coming up? You know what I'm saying? I know you told me that the book is coming out with Blerd Con.
Yeah, is there any other projects
coming up? any other things with your show, just anything you want to let out, just let me know.
So I think the two things that are really buzzing, the first is Upliftpreneur, which is what the book is based off of. Six Figure Nerd is what it's based off of. We're about to open that up to the public. We were scheduled to open it up at the beginning of April, but because of everything going on, it wouldn't have been fair. So we decided to push it to May. We may even extend it, but we're going to definitely open it up. Anyone that's a creative needs to be in this program. We go nuts to bolts on everything that we do here and what we do for some of our bigger clients. But I want creatives in it because creators are my people. So that's big, and we're gonna announce that pretty soon. So I'll drop knowledge to you guys about it. And I think the other big thing is just SKS. I mean, we've had to stop, and now the station's like, no, we need you to come back. So I've been producing again. So we're gonna come back with more shows and more content, and just bring more people in talking about what they do. Like, I didn't want to stop, and now I'm being forced, which is great for me because it keeps me back in the loop. But I keep bringing in all the good people. So those are the big two things, man. It's spreading the knowledge and spreading the knowledge. So yeah, those are the two big things. And there's a third one because it's a surprise. And that only deals with BlerdCon, if BlerdCon happens.
Which it will, when BlerdCon happens.
When BlerdCon happens.
Yes. We will definitely be there. We're scheduled for that. So I Love Nerd Life will be there. And we have a new show in the works that's going to be talking about the business of esports.
Oh,
I love it.
So, stay tuned for that, because that's going to be, whether we get it on the station or not, that's going to be like one of the really big shows that I produced this year.
Okay.
So we're working on that show, and I think that's everything. So for the two things that I said, it's actually now 4.
Look at that duplication there.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. I'm glad we got the inside scoop on that.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't really talked about it a lot, so good job on your investigative reporting.
That's how I get them. Before we go.
Hey, you want to talk about that thing you wanted
to?
Yeah.
Just ask them if they want to tell me anything. I just stare and just keep moving closer.
You know there's something that you want to say. Get it out. Get it off your conscience.
Want to talk about that thing?
Yeah. You get that thing I sent you? You get that? No.
You get that thing? Another thing? Yeah, and I'll drop this too.
Ooh.
www.swiftkickshow.com/group. That's where all the freebies happen. I forgot to even say that. www.swiftkickshow.com/group.
All right.
And where can we follow you on social media?
Facebook is always the best. But if you look up the Swift Kick Show, you'll find everything there is about me.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Man, Tim, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming by, man, spreading the knowledge. I want to be there the next time you do. Hopefully it'll be in person. Either which way, I'm going to be there. This is me, your boy D, the homie Demo, man. Hey, we out of here, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right, guys.
You've been listening to CoPlay Media with hosts Diers and Demo. For more information on CoPlay Media and the Blerd community, visit coplaymedia.com or the CoPlay Media page at dc.radio.gov.
Neo.
Up.
Well, I've been true to this since preschool, and I've been trying to tell you for years, geeks rule. So now we gotta bring it straight to the people, and this is how we do. So who knows the code? You gotta let them know this is a nerd's world, and y'all ain't got nothing.
Yeah. We were picked on, picked past, picked last. They told us to get gone, get back. Now it's time to kick gas. From straight out of the projects, the desirable objects. You'll be proud of your progress, cause nobody can stop it. So you must not have heard the nerds have gotten confident. We used to be the opposite, we take it as a compliment. My position's prominent, now cats are getting jobs in this. Cognizant of times when I remember what my mama said. Games were a waste of time. I would say she changed her mind. Now we gotta lay to rest that antiquated state of mind. We can move ahead, push forward, you can stay behind. Fully going where no man's gone. The big beyond it bugging like a cockroach. Cause we got blows at the scene like a missile drop. Kick off the top rope. Fashion, TV, comics, gaming. We proclaiming the landscape is changing.